Hello friends, welcome back. This is Jenny from Polly's Paper Studio. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to create a Father's Day greeting card with this fun retro inspired image. Now I did get a little behind and Father's Day snuck up on me, so I'm hoping that this will inspire you to get your projects done and make sure that you are celebrating all things Dad. So stick with me and we'll make this together. Here's my card base. It is 5 by 6.5 inches. I finished the inside with the coordinating pattern paper. I'll come back in and leave a space for sentiment to be added. So here is my focal image, and this came from the Simple Stories Dad Life collection. It had a lot of really fabulous 3x4 journal cards. I chose to cut mine with a tag shaped die, so it has that fun stitched detail, and then I've added a small silver reinforcing dot and put some twine through that. So this collection, I only picked up the journal cards because I thought I would have a lot of paper in my stash that would coordinate, because this is a beautiful, like a charcoal gray and orange, and I knew I would be able to dip into my stash of Halloween papers and coordinate with that. So this pattern is from an Authentique Halloween collection, and it is a very busy but not contrasting pattern, so it's going to read as a neutral, and I'm going to be using that charcoal gray cardstock throughout, and so that helps to tie all of the pieces together. Here's a piece that is just another stash paper. Now this wood grain was a single-sided paper, so it was a little bit thinner. I chose to cut a separate banner shape from heavy cardstock and adhere that before putting on my foam spacer, just so it would have a lot of good stability. So I'm going to add that with my double-sided adhesive tape and a little bit of Tombow. You definitely do not need a die to cut these fishtail banner shapes. You can just cut your paper and notch that portion out and you will get the same effect. This one happens to have a stitch detail, and I think that adds a little bit of extra fun, so I went ahead and used that. This set is nesting as well, so I have a sequence of sizes that will all work really well together. And so for this one I did the same process. That is a single-sided paper. I put it on the heavier cardstock and foam, but you'll notice that I've also added some secondary layers because part of this is going to hang over that first banner shape. So I want to support that. That way everything will be nice and level on the card front. So this was just a plaid from a paper pack, and I thought that it went really well with my color scheme. I'm gonna move it near the bottom so that I get a nice amount of it showing when I add my next layers. Okay, one last layer that has foam is a scalloped circle die, and I cut this with mirror cardstock. I want to tie in some silver accents, so I thought that was going to coordinate really well. I put a layer of that background paper on top as well, because when I begin to add my accessories, I want it to be able to show very well and not compete with a busy background. This one has foam on one side as well because of that second banner shape, and I'm gonna put this fairly high because I need room for all the next layers. Before I add my tag, I do want to include a silver star that I cut from glitter paper. I want to add this underneath a layer, and I'm just resting this here temporarily so that I can get the placement correct. So I'm just adding that to the top left corner, and a fair bit of that is sticking out so that you definitely get the full effect of that star shape. So I'll just go ahead and press that tag down. I did put foam spacers on the back of that as well, so we really built up quite a bit of nice dimension here. And so our next element to add is this really fun floral arrangement. So what I did, I pulled out many of my flower dies and patterns that I thought would coordinate with my journal card sheet. So I've got some oranges and some grays and some polka dots, and those are going to work as my masculine flowers. And I've finished the inside as I always do with my Really Reasonable Ribbon stamens, so it is perfectly coordinated. I cut my leaves for this card with the same color of cardstock as I used for my matting, so that it kind of keeps a more masculine feel and coordinates perfectly. And then I've tucked in some loopy twine bows and some small glitter stars too for accent. And this is just going to rest basically right on the corner of that tag so that I'll have enough of that plaid showing. To balance that larger arrangement on the bottom, I'm going to bring in a loopy bow. This is some gray wrinkle ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and I'm going to secure it here to the left hand side of the tag. Then I'll top it with a second smaller flower of that same orange with another loopy twine bow on top, making sure not to cover any of that rocket ship image because that is really the focal point of this card. I've pulled a tiny little robot charm from my stash. I think that should go okay with the rocket ship. And because this is very layered, I'm going to hold my charm here so that I can get the correct placement. I'm going to secure it with a little hot glue. I'll take the excess string off. Then I'll top it with this coordinating orange button. That will help to disguise those cut ends. Last but not least, I have a couple of extra orange buttons to go here at the bottom, and that will help to balance that robot charm. And that is all for our Father's Day greeting card created with the journal card from Simple Stories Dad Life. While I had these supplies out, I went ahead and created another card, and this one is more of a shaker. I put a gold mirror frame this time and accented it with the gold glitter stars and some larger sequins, and a similar flower arrangement here, but this time I tucked in some additional foliage to fill this in and to brighten up the front of the card. So if you enjoy these projects, make sure you give me a like, leave me a comment, and if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you'll be alerted every time we post. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye!